You are listening to High Heels and High Chairs, voted the best online resource for busy moms who wish to stay strong, sexy, and centered in a world of spit up and sippy cups. Whether you're a new mom, a grandmom, a future mom, or somewhere in between, you'll love these priceless tips, tricks, and tools you will learn today. Here is your host, top female fat loss and hormone specialist, Dr. Rochelle Sands.
Hi, and welcome to High Heels and High Chairs, where we're talking about how to stay strong, sexy, and centered in a world of spit up and sippy cups. I'm your host, Dr. Rochelle Sands, and today I'm so thrilled to have with me Rochelle Serna. I met Rochelle at a mastermind last year, and her energy and just light from her just shines. She is so passionate about what she does and her love for everything baby-oriented. So I just had her on the conference here because she has some wonderful tips for really changing the way we think about things and also, preparing for the birth of our baby and really taking care of ourselves and our babies in the process. So Rochelle, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Thank you so much. What a lovely intro. You made me feel all happy inside.
Rochelle, you're always happy inside. I could always see that stuff out. There is about 35 people in the room for people who don't know what I'm talking about. We were sitting in a room together, and 35 people, and just the energy off Rochelle was it just was so stunning. And we were also the only two people that brought our babies to the party the night before at the bar, so our husbands totally bonded. But anyways, so Rochelle, just for the audience, so they can kind of get a little glimpse into who you are and what you do, can you tell us a little bit about your story and the journey that led you to be the fertility cleanse specialist that you are today?
Sure, yes. Okay, I'll try to do this in a little short thing. So basically, I've always loved babies. I've always loved kids. I was the oldest in my whole family, including my cousins, and the only girl. So I was kind of like a mother figure from the very start. And I always knew I wanted to do something with kids, never knew what. And I ended up going to school for child and family development. And I learned about, the brains and how they develop and all of the social aspects and the communication aspects and all of that. But of course, we didn't touch it all on nutrition or anything like that until later.
Right.
But I had spent so much time with kids and I kept getting younger and younger. I realized, I kept getting interested in younger and younger children because I realized that we needed to start earlier than I had originally thought. I thought, I'll be a teacher. I'll help kids, learn and grow that way. And then I thought, no, you need to start earlier than that. You need to start in preschool. And then I thought, in the home, you need to help teach the parents. And then eventually I just got until it was you need to start before you even have your baby so that you can learn how to change these things and plant those seeds and create the life that you want your children to have with all the intention that you could possibly have. So I was trained as a doula when I was 19. And that, for anyone that doesn't know, that's someone that helps women through labor. And you can also have postpartum doula that helps through those first 3 months, the fourth trimester. And then I became a live-in nanny for a family of chiropractors. And that is when I learned how big the lifestyle factor was. And literally, the rest is history. But I just learned how detrimental, your lifestyle is such a huge factor in that development piece. And that was the missing key. And ever since, I've just been intensely focused on figuring out how to, move all of the pieces of lifestyle and diet and mindfulness and create that environment to help children grow into this world in, the best way that we know how. And so that's kind of where the focus is. But I also, of course, love mothers and I love helping them grow into motherhood, and becoming a mother myself helps me see that even more so. So. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and Rochelle has probably maybe the second cutest baby in the world after mine.
I'll take that.
Story. I love that you learned from the people who you're nannying for, because I have my nanny, Ashley, who just came to me eating, SpaghettiOs and Doritos and never had a home cooked meal, and now she is buying organic food and she's learning, because that's how we feed our son, and she's learning a lot from me. And I love that that's how it started, because I feel that, everything we do is a learning experience. So while you went through a 4-year degree, you actually learned and grew so much through that nannying job. So I love that. story, and you're doing such great things. And when you said like going back to before the baby's born, I mean that is so crucial. I can't stress enough to people I speak with that what you do, what you put in your body, is creating your DNA, and that's the DNA you're passing on to your children. So the thing that irritates me almost more than anything is when you're pregnant and you're having a baby and people try to push all the junk food in your face saying it's the time to eat anything. And that really irritates me. So I'm glad that you're educating people on it. So today we're talking about, our topic is more of a mindset topic. So we're talking about how to go from fear to joy and how your mindset can impact your motherhood and how it impacts your baby. So can you tell us a little bit about your perspective on mindset when it comes to conceiving, pregnancy, and motherhood?
Yes. Okay. So I guess a little backstory is warranted here. I, have been very focused on detox and nutrition for a lot of my, ever since I learned when they really changed, living with that family truly changed my life because I saw the difference in that baby. I could see that she was making brain connections and all that, and I knew there was something different. I wanted that for my children. So I really was focused on the tangibles. Okay, what did they change physically? I see detox stuff. I see non-toxic stuff in the home. I see nutrition. They taught me how to cook, all these things. And so I ran with those. And when I was getting pregnant with my son, I really was focused on those key things. But what I completely ignored and didn't realize that I ignored at the time was the fact that I was working a 60 to 80 hour a week retail management job, which is like, wrangling cats. You're like trying to figure out how to get these things. It's funny, but very, very stressful. And I was running myself extremely thin, and I wasn't taking any time for self-love or, just taking care of my body. And, my husband and I would do like fun activities and do things on the weekends and stuff, the one day a week and a half, but I wasn't focusing at all on mindfulness. And I realized looking back that I was so focused on fear. It wasn't like I was doing these things because I was so happy that they were going to make me healthier. I was doing them because I was scared of what would happen if I didn't do them. I had worked myself up into this place where I was.
That is a huge statement right there. I mean, yes. Stop and think why you do what you do, even in our normal life. I mean, just you're so right, because I think what I did when I was pregnant, I knew I was doing the right thing, but I was doing it not with the joy of the actual action, but actually doing it, you're right, the fear of what would happen if I did not. And that is actually a really big revelation.
Yeah, it was when I realized that, when I realized what I had done to myself is kind of how I saw it. I was like, now that I'm in this place of more trying to think joy, I wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so awful. But I thought, wow, how did I do that without even seeing what I was doing? And so I realized that I was really doing everything because I was so scared. And I was doing these things, making sure my mattress was non-toxic and making sure I was eating all these things. But it was like, I was so scared of what would happen if I didn't. So, I did conceive my son, and I feel like it was compounded after that because I was so scared that, something I was going to do during my pregnancy was going to cause a problem. And it was just this awful cycle. And so when my husband, we're currently actually trying, we just started trying to have our second child. And we went in with such a different mindset this time. And I kind of went over this with you before, but, this year, my body just kind of stopped me. But my body, literally, I couldn't write anything. I couldn't do any blog posts. I couldn't do any work. It was like the universe was like, nope, you have to stop. There's something you're not understanding here. And because I made an intention last year, at the end of last year, kind of a New Year's resolution, I said, I'm done doing what I'm doing. I'm inefficient. I'm running myself to the ground. I'm not doing things right. I need a new way of doing things. I don't know what it is. I need a new way. And so I guess the universe listened because I was literally unable to do anything. I read a ton of books on meditation and self-growth, and I started meditating 1 to 2 hours a day. And this started a little bit before the new year, but my life completely changed. And that's really when all of these pieces came together, and I realized how big of a difference that shift to joy would make. So when we started preparing for this next baby, we really went into it like, okay, instead of being scared of what's going to happen if we don't do this, I'm so excited that we get to nourish our bodies this way. I'm so grateful that I have this information so that I have the opportunity to improve my child's health before they even come. Like, it was just a very different mentality. So
yeah, it makes you like happily do it instead of doing things because you have to. And so I love that. And so for listeners who are listening to you and, wanting to get to where you are, but maybe not wanting to go through the complete shutdown that you had to experience. But take us through like how you would maybe first realize that what you're doing is from a place of fear and then steps to change it.
Yeah, so I think what's really, really hard as busy mothers and mothers-to-be in America is that it's really hard for us to stop. We, just like you, it's like I have this desire to have a positive stress all the time. And so it was really hard and almost annoying to me sometimes when people would say, you should take some time to relax. You should go outside and, take breaks and enjoy your son more while he's small. And I was like, no, like I want to do this work. I'm called to do this work, and so it was very difficult. And then I think when I finally got fed up, and I'm hoping to prevent that for other people, I'm like, hey, let me tell you the easy tips now so that you don't have to get to that point. But when I finally was like, okay, I'm really kind of sucking at doing everything that I'm doing because I'm not doing it right, is when I got to change. And my easiest tip that I can say, applying to nutrition, because that's the one that I think people are most easily able to identify, is that if you feel like you're eating something, the example I always use is if you decide not to eat gluten because it gives you, digestive upset and brain fog and makes you feel awful overall, next time you go to avoid that food or someone offers it to you, like just try to think, okay, I don't eat this food because or you don't even have to say that I don't, you just say, I choose to eat foods that nourish my body. Like to yourself, you don't have to say it out loud, but just making that shift
We can say it out loud too. That would be fun.
You can. Yeah. Thank you, but no thank you. I choose foods that nourish my body. But, just being grateful for the education that you have, the knowledge that you have that food upsets you, whatever that food is, and being, happily deciding to choose other foods rather than focusing on the fact that you're not eating it. So happy end result rather than thing you don't want to have. So,
yeah, and that's huge even for weight loss. If you're looking to lose weight or you're looking to actually make any goal happen in your life, you look at these actions as you're doing them because of the way it makes you feel or the way the outcome is something that you love, instead of saying I can't have it, in place of, restriction and fear rather than a place of abundance and happiness. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and it's definitely a process. Like you said earlier, I want to be where you are. I'm not I would not consider this a journey anywhere near done. I think it's definitely a continual thing. Like there's times when I put myself back in that place of fear, and then I'm just better at identifying it now, I think. But, it's just something that it's a constant work in progress. But I think that it's such a gift also to be able to identify that and spend more time. My goal is spend more time in joy than in fear, which it's unreal how much I think that you'll realize, everyone listening, how much time you spend in fear, because it is just so much easier to be there. And I think the world society kind of pushes us in that direction to get us to buy things or to get us to do things because,
Yeah, every advertisement you see is either, telling you that you don't have something and you could have it, or the fear of losing something. So you're so right. That's huge. Now I'm thinking about the people who are maybe stuck in that fear mentality. And it is really hard when you're in it to step outside of yourself and see what you're doing to make that conscious switch. So do you have any tips or tricks for people to get that positive mindset more ingrained in the thoughts, in their everyday thoughts?
Yes. Okay. So a couple of things. There's like a ton of different books that I could recommend too, but some of the physical
we can
things
put some
that I
links
think you can do.
For some books that you recommend, your favorite books. We can put some links next to the audio here.
Okay. Yeah. There's a couple books that are more on the spiritual side of things, but just really kind of letting you tap into letting go of the things that kind of hold you back, so the emotions and stuff. But I think some of the physical things, and I know you've probably heard this 100 times, everybody, but meditation really, really, really is key, because it's time for self-reflection, if nothing else. So, you know, a lot of people think they're doing it wrong because they can't stop thinking, or they're, you know, they don't have the time or whatnot. And I totally get that. But even if it's not, you know, sitting down in a seated position with your legs crossed for an hour in the middle of the day every day, even if you just spend half an hour in bed just being, and even letting your thoughts flow. I know people have different theories on this, but for me, some of my best ideas and self-reflective pieces come in those quiet moments. So it's not necessarily, I don't know if it's typical meditation, but basically just giving yourself times of thoughtful rest.
Yeah.
And then I really do think that getting outside is huge. Like getting your feet in the grass, going on some walks. It doesn't have to be anything intense, but it's that same thoughtful rest principle, but you're in nature, which just like 10 times is the effects of being able to get in flow. So
yeah, kind of, you know what, when you said like get your feet in the grass, like Rochelle is literally talking about your bare feet in the grass on the earth, so that you get the energy actually from the earth. So it's called grounding, and people may think I'm crazy right now, but it's true. Like I actually bring my son outside and put him on the grass with his legs touching and his feet touching, and then I go outside barefoot all the time just for that reason. Because it does, like you will actually, if you try it for a week, you will actually feel a difference in your body. If you live in a colder climate, you only need a few minutes. So you can literally just go outside, step on the grass, let the sun beat down on you if it's beating down, hopefully, and then go back inside and you're good.
Yes, absolutely. And it is, you know, the facts of it are that the earth is full of energy. We know that it has different energies, and so they just come into our body. It's you know, you can look it up if you question us, basically. There's good information. But.
And I love that there's no wrong way to meditate. So I love that for moms, because, yeah, I mean, I understand it. You don't have an extra hour to sit and do nothing because you already feel like you don't have time to do the things you need to do. But there's this old saying that says if you don't have 15 minutes to meditate, you probably need to meditate for an hour.
Yes.
It's because, like, Rochelle, you probably find this, that when you started this practice, actually makes you more productive in the time that you're not meditating, because you're able to get your thoughts in order and you're able to have a clear mind. You're able to be more present in what you're doing, so that when you're present in what you're doing, you're actually able to complete it a lot faster. I've noticed that just in the past year, I've read tons of books on meditation, affirmations, and one of my favorites is The Power of Now, to teach you how to be present. However, I have to admit, I did not put it into practice. I knew it, and it was great to know it, but I was one of those people that my life was just going. I was doing more and more, you know, had the baby, finished med school, did all this stuff, and just like knew about the meditation but never did it. And just this past year, just after New Year, I started actually taking time to say affirmations, to take time out to meditate, and I am so much more productive than I've ever been, and happier, you know, actually happier.
I would agree 100%. I remember calling my mom and being like, Mom, I don't understand what is going on, but I get like 10 times more things done when I'm taking more time to just not do anything. So it's very funny, but it's like a time to give yourself in place. And I love what you said about it was great to know the information, but not putting it into practice, because I think that is extremely common. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times people would tell me like, oh, you know, you have to lead your day with gratitude, and you have to, you know, meditate, and you have to do all these things. And I was like, okay, like, of course I'm thankful for things, but it's funny, and it's different when I think you have to be ready for it. It's kind of a funny thing, but you have to be at that place where you're ready to like make those changes. And
or you have to.
I don't know how to help
you. Can't do anything else, right?
Yeah,
you're
like
at the point where you didn't have a choice, but just sit and contemplate. But hopefully, like, as everyone listening doesn't have to get there, and it doesn't take. You might not have an hour, like Rochelle, to sit in the middle of the day and meditate. But you have 10 minutes. If you have children that take naps. You can do it during a nap. If you have kids that are a little older, it's okay to stick them in front of the TV for 15 minutes and go in your bedroom and meditate. You know, that they're not going to die from TV watching. I know that's not something they want to do all the time, but, you know, I always tell my patients it's okay. Let them watch an educational TV show for a half hour, and you have your downtime so that you can then, you know, be more present with them and be more productive with yourself. I don't know if you agree with that, Rochelle, or not.
No, I mean, I think like pre-child and post-child, I maybe have a different, no, not really that different, but I think that we need to, I agree with that, because what ends up happening, at least what happened to me, was that I was becoming so inefficient by not taking those times out that he ended up watching way more TV just so I could get stuff done that I wasn't getting done. So it's like, you know, it's this vicious cycle if you don't.
It's like a double-edged sword. And you know what, for the moms listening who have older kids and they're out of the house, it's not that you have a free card now that you don't have anything to do, because you'll still have things to do into your day. So whether you're trying to have a baby or you have a baby or your kids are grown up, like, we all need this, because we will fill our day with busy stuff until we just can't breathe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That is the American way, I believe, you know. We have all the opportunity and we want to take it all. So we want to take every minute. So, yeah.
Rochelle, when you meditate, do you do breathing exercises, or do you just sit quietly? Do you have any favorite ways to meditate? Do you use music, anything like that?
Yes, actually, thank you for bringing this up, because I wanted to mention Headspace is a really good app. I don't actually use that one right now, but it's a really good app for getting started, because it gives you really short, like 10, 15-minute guided meditations every day. So that's kind of a way to get yourself started, and they're guided and they're short, so it's a really good one for moms. But
perfect. So when people who don't know what a guided meditation is, there's actually somebody talking you through the meditation, correct?
Yes, yeah. So he just tells you,
so that's
you know, what to focus on.
Yeah, that's great. For people who don't know, who are afraid of meditation or don't think they'll get to do it right, you can't do it wrong. And Headspace, is that a free app on the iPhone?
It's free for a month, and I believe then there's a minimal monthly charge.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can link to that, right? Maybe you can just so
we'll
people know where to write it down. Awesome. And that one's great because, it helps you. And I don't know. I'm sure there are people that think there is a wrong way to meditate, but for me, I've just noticed the clarity in my life by doing it this, whichever way I get time.
The wrong way to meditate is not to meditate.
Yeah, exactly. That's my theory. That's exactly. What I do right now is called Holosync, and basically it's music that puts your mind into a meditative state. So they spent time studying different people's brains that were master meditators, have meditated like thousands of hours in their life, and they studied their brain patterns, and then they created music that puts your brain into those brain patterns. So you're actually put into a meditative state for you. And I got this through a friend, and so I don't know. I think holosync.com or centerpoint.com. They introduced me to it.
Centerpoint is one that I've used before. So I'll put a link to that as well. So these are all great resources.
Yeah. And it's been great because sometimes I get frustrated with myself because my mind won't stop. But I think that I'm like, well, at least my brain's in that meditative state,
Right.
So, it's just helping me out and knowing that I'm at least taking the time, if nothing else, taking the time to just have those. And funny enough now, I don't always do this. I was really good about it for a while, but you're able to meditate wherever, even laying down, according to the founders of Holosync. So my son still co-sleeps with us. So I will wake up in the morning with him next to me and meditate for an hour. And then right before I go to sleep, an hour also. So it's kind of like fitting it into my day, but not always. Sometimes just once. It's life-changing.
I aspire to be like Rochelle and meditate 2 hours. That is amazing. That is just amazing. Well, and you have a busy life.
Well, that's the only way that I would fit it in right now. And then sometimes when he's napping, but I'm sure you can attest to this, it's really hard when they're napping to not want to get things done that you can't get done with them awake. But I think the more you meditate, the more you desire to meditate, though. So I find myself choosing to meditate during his naps, and I'm like, who am I? Who is this person? So
I love it. I love it. So it could be addictive. That's a great habit to have. Do you have any other final tips before we get into your free gifts and holiday days? I'm trying to keep this short for the mama.
Sure, I know. I'm such a chatterbox. No, I think just giving yourself, just like loving yourself, being able to step back. Oh, one thing I wanted to say too, I have this really, really cool thing called a Buddha board, and it lets you write down any fears or anything you have, and it's just with water, and it literally evaporates. So it's like you're kind of physically letting go of something. That's been a really good tool for me. If I have something, just being able to write it down and see it like disappear, I'm like, oh, awesome. It's totally mental, and I love
I
it.
used to do it with my patients. One practice that I have very similar to that is we write down where our fears are, and then we light it on fire.
Yes, exactly.
You do it outside or throw it in the fireplace.
Yeah.
But yours is a little safer around kids.
Yeah. A little more home friendly. Yeah. So, but just giving yourself that love, that space, and that understanding for whatever if you're not at the place where you're meditating, like also be okay with that. And, if you feel like you're in a fear-based place, like step number one is like being okay with that, being like, hey, I'm human. That's part of it. Like, let's move forward, but let's not, give ourselves a hard time for where we're at. So that's important too.
And then one other thing I just wanted to add is, share this with your husband, share this with your older children who can understand what it means. And that is going to really just make your family that much stronger. So I don't keep this to yourself. Like, this interview is a great resource, and all the resources that I'm going to link to, it's just an amazing gift that you can give to yourself and to your family and loved ones. But thank you, Rochelle. I know that you have a wonderful free gift for everybody listening. Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I am going to be offering you guys some affirmations. I've got a couple of different sets, and we have fertility and self-care and, just basic ones for motherhood and gratitude. So it'll be a fun little sheet that you can just look through and, decide which ones resonate with you and kind of stick with those for the time being. And I think you'll see a definite difference when you tell yourself, these positive things and believe them.
So will that include instructions for how to use them, as in like read them every day? Okay, awesome. Perfect. That is an awesome resource. So everyone go ahead, and the link is right next to this interview. Go ahead and download it. It's completely free. And when you do, then you'll also be connected with Rochelle, and you will be able to get updates from her on everything she's doing. And she does have a great product. It's called the Rose Method, and it's a fertility cleanse. So it gives you a natural way to prepare for a new baby if you mamas who are looking for number 2, like Rochelle, or number 3 even, or more. And this is a great resource. You may not have gone through this type of thing with your first pregnancy, or if you are getting ready to, or you have a friend who is looking to have a baby, this is a great resource to really make it natural, holistic, healthy for you and baby. So definitely check that out. Rochelle, thank you so much for being here. It's really been such a pleasure, and it's really been enlightening for myself, and I hope that everybody received great value, because I know I did. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been so fun to be on.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with more great resources and information. Hope you have a wonderful, happy, healthy, and hot day. And Rochelle, thanks again. I will talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you got a lot of value out of this. I know that I did. I want you to open up to the possibility of making this new year the greatest opportunity you have had so far to improve your life. This is about breaking out of paradigms. It's about learning the art of living. It's about honoring who you are as a woman as you discover who you are as a mother. It's about taking care of your body, mind, and spirit so that you can better take care of your family, and being a shining example, a role model, if you will, for your children so that they can grow up to be healthy, happy, and successful. I promise to continue to bring you educational, empowering, and inspiring content to help you achieve the body that you dream about and the life you are meant to live. Stay tuned for more value-packed interviews during the summit and be sure. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you received a lot of value out of this interview. I know that I did. I want you to open up to the possibility of making this new year the greatest opportunity that you have had so far to improve your life. This is about breaking out of paradigms. It's about learning the art of living. It is about honoring who you are as a woman as you discover who you are as a mother. It is about taking care of your body, mind, and spirit so that you can take better care of your family and be a shining example, a role model for your children so that they can grow up to be healthy, happy, and successful. I promise to continue to bring you educational, empowering, and inspiring content to help you achieve the body that you dream about and the life that you are meant to live. Stay tuned for more value-packed interviews and be sure to check out all the resources on my website, metabolicmama.com. Until next time, wishing you a happy, healthy, hot day. Take care, mamas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you got a lot of value out of this. I know that I did. I want you to open up to the possibility of making this new year the greatest opportunity you have had so far to improve your life. This is about breaking out of paradigms. It's about learning the art of living. It's about honoring who you are as a woman as you discover who you are as a mother. It's about taking care of your body, mind, and spirit so that you can better take care of your family and being a shining example, a role model, if you will, for your children so that they can grow up to be healthy, happy, and successful. I promise to continue to bring you educational, empowering, and inspiring content to help you achieve the body that you dream about and the life you are meant to live. Stay tuned for more value-packed interviews during the summit and be sure. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you received a lot of value out of this interview. I know that I did. I want you to open up to the possibility of making this new year the greatest opportunity that you have had so far to improve your life. This is about breaking out of paradigms. It's about learning the art of living. It is about honoring who you are as a woman as you discover who you are as a mother. It is about taking care of your body, mind, and spirit so that you can take better care of your family and be a shining example, a role model for your children so that they can grow up to be healthy, happy, and successful. I promise to continue to bring you educational, empowering, and inspiring content to help you achieve the body that you dream about and the life that you are meant to live. Stay tuned for more value-packed interviews and be sure to check out all the resources on my website, metabolicmama.com. Until next time, wishing you a happy, healthy, hot day. Take care, mamas. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you received a lot of value out of this interview. I know that I did. I want you to open up to the possibility of making this new year the greatest opportunity that you have had so far to improve your life. This is about breaking out of paradigms. It's about learning the art of living. It is about honoring who you are as a woman as you discover who you are as a mother. It is about taking care of your body, mind, and spirit so that you can take better care of your family and be a shining example, a role model for your children so that they can grow up to be healthy, happy, and successful. I promise to continue to bring you educational, empowering, and inspiring content to help you achieve the body that you dream about and the life that you are meant to live. Stay tuned for more value-packed interviews and be sure to check out all the resources on my website, metabolicmama.com. Until next time, wishing you a happy, healthy, hot day. Take care, mamas.